This region around the Great Lakes has been called the heartland. When it comes to agriculture, there's hardly an area in the world that compares.
Everybody, just hold on. I don't know what we're going to have here.
There's a lot of self-proclaimed geniuses out there that know the national yield, but they're all wrong.
Manage money, piling in.
Double digits higher.
So at this point, we're in kind of uncharted territory.
There's a lot of money on the sidelines.
So that was a crazy one.
That's what brings the viewers back. That a boy.
Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, July 29th, and this is the AgYield War Room. I'm Dan Dempsey, and I'll be moderating today's session. As always, if you get any questions or comments, please feel free to drop us a line in the chat area. I'll be sure to get to it during the show. Overnight markets here, December corn down 3.5 at 477. September beans were down 13 3/4 at 1191. And September Chicago wheat was up 3 at 665.5. No export sales announced here this morning, guys, so we'll jump right in. Good morning. We've got special guests with us here, sitting next to Ben. Neil Schuller with the Andersons been nice enough to join us this morning. Him and Ben were having breakfast, so he said, hey, why not jump on the War Room and join us? So welcome, Neil. Guys, looking overnight, it appears to me, I'm not a weatherman, but we got kind of a considerable flip in terms of precipitation in the next 7 days here overnight. Certainly started spewing into the markets late this morning. Early this morning, I should say. We also got a crude pop escalations in Iran. They kind of sneak attacked us a little bit yesterday, and strong words from President Trump this morning about getting back at it. So all that trying to shake out here this morning. I guess, Justin, looking at the last couple days, what are your thoughts here as we start this morning, and then we'll throw around the room.
Yeah, Dan. I think we're still, my thoughts haven't changed too much, I guess. We had the big break in the first notice day. We had a really good rally, 70-cent rally in corn. Beans are, super high above any kind of crop insurance floor. So I think beans have probably the most risk, as far as just risk on the farm. We've had good chances to get up to these levels and get good protection. And I think, anyone that has wanted that chance has gotten a couple opportunities. As far as that, we got to see how the weather finishes out. There's still going to be tons of volatility in the markets, as you said, like the geopolitical landscape is still super volatile. That being said, we're in the high fours, and we're going into August. It's just a tough time of year, call it between now and mid-September, October 1st to be long. It's just typically a tough time because for obvious reasons, you go into harvest pressure, all those kinds of things. And we're going to have a really big crop no matter how you slice it, whether it's a 176 or a 190. We're going to have a really good crop. So I think we're kind of splitting hairs on what the yield is. We got a really good demand story. All those kind of things are true, but the calendar says you got to be really cautious if you just want to be long.
Yeah, good stuff. Ben, what's on your mind this morning?
Yeah, the weather maps just kind of have been consistent since Saturday's run. Getting a little cooler and a little bit wetter. Definitely through the next week. It looks like maybe a little bit of dryness comes back, but I don't know. And heat, I don't know that it's enough to overcome the mechanicals of the purge of the rest of the old crop. You get to the subcontract, and a lot of people won't let you roll it again. So I think that there's some issues there that'll have to be cleaned up. Conversely, the geopolitical landscape, to Justin's point, is really kind of a fluid environment. European corn has a real massive problem. They're going to have to be an importer from somewhere. Hopefully that's the U.S. Beans, it feels really bad right now. They're just touching their 20-day moving average from perspective of what a big blow up they've had. But I think beans, when they start to break, is one of the toughest trades there is, because it can get really, it can go quick. And we never saw beans get into insurance areas like we saw corn in the last rundown. So I'll be interested to see how that plays out. It's still Wednesday, right? We're end of July. It's bean weather in August. And for corn, though, I think that the mechanicals over the next month are going to be difficult.
Yeah, very good, Neil. It's good to see you. Thanks for jumping on this morning. From a commercial from a commercial perspective. I know yesterday hearing that kind of northern part of Indiana's got a good one coming. You guys still buying a lot of corn, big demand. I mean, we're still doing a lot of business. So what's your perspective here this morning?
It has stayed pretty firm really across, especially in the Eastern Corn Belt. Ethanol, I would tell you, it feels like they are fairly well covered at this point in time, enough that's going to get them into harvest. But there's spots and there's some areas where, buyers are still out there. Basis has stayed relatively firm, especially for this time of year. And we'll just kind of see how that plays out. I agree with everything said, a lot of volatility. But we got to keep in mind that like volatility brings opportunity as well, right? So, as you get through the course of these summer months, you've made your plan, now trade your plan. And stick to the discipline side of it, but there is opportunity out there. There are folks that maybe be a little bit short as we get kind of towards the tail end before harvest. Pay attention to those basis markets in your area. The river has remained pretty firm. The Mississippi River demand, causing stuff to stay pretty well there on the basis side. And there's definitely opportunity if there's old crop left. But to everyone's point, how long do you want to hold that, and how long do you want to carry that in as we get near the end of the marketing year here?
Very good. Ryland, let's move real quickly here over to livestock. It was an interesting trade yesterday. The back end of feeders were still pretty soft after the border reopening news, but we started to get a little bit of strength coming back to the front end, and certainly fats held their own as well. And then a solid day all around for hogs. So I guess what are your thoughts this morning?
Yeah, just, I think we're still trading a bit of the hangover from the phased reopening of the U.S. border to Mexican feeder cattle imports. And just, I think the plans with that. So it really doesn't shock me to see the back end of the feeders still stay pretty weak here. Obviously, there's going to be a lot to chew through. It's not going to be an immediate kind of situation where we just start getting huge flows. I mean, like the phase reopening is supposed to kind of control this to some degree. So, I mean, honestly, we've seen a little bit of weaker cash so far this week. Talking 228, 229 on the live side, and still 360 on the dressed. So, I mean, obviously the market's still pretty weak here, and it's been catching up to the board. So I think we're starting to see the beef market finally start to see some follow through here. It's been 2 days kind of straight up. So we got choice back up to 365.86. It's up another 297. So I think you're getting a little bit of confidence in the front end that the move may start to recover here a little bit better. So I think overall, that's really where the focus is right now. Obviously, the forward spreads in the feeder market seems to be the leading, kind of like the obvious leading trade right now in general. Obviously, Douglas is opening up and then within the next 30 days. And then after that, 2 more ports of entry in New Mexico. So, I mean, I think it's just a matter of seeing those numbers start to come to the table here, start to get over the border and kind of go from there. So I think there is still going to be a wait and see attitude as this continues to go on. But yeah, I mean, we are seeing a little bit of uptick here yesterday on the hog side of things. I mean, cash market's still pretty firm. You got cash 101 is up 31 cents. And at this point, carcass still a little bit on the weaker side, 103.91 down 54. Bellies, huge jump, $6 here. So, I mean, overall, I think there's still a little bit more optimism. Well, I mean, I think you got a little bit of a seasonal. The bellies and hams have been kind of leading that should be leading the seasonal charge here. But at this point, it looks like the focus is still going to be on cash for right now. So, I mean, I don't know exactly who is buying what, but it does seem like we're seeing those bellies start to kind of firm up here quite a bit. So overall, just I think all eyes are on cash seasonally, and just, from a demand standpoint, I think you start to see things start to tail off here at the end of September, but I feel like that's a long time coming. So I think cash can still hold up a little bit better than expected here, just for a little bit longer. So we'll see if that's true. And I think that's really where the focus is going to be.
Very good, Ryan. Appreciate the update there. Tomorrow morning is Thursday, so we'll get our weekly export sales. Those will be out at 7:30 Central, and we'll take a look at the report and visit about that in the war room. Also, link is in the description. But check out the War Room Report, access to premium content, special reports that we'll periodically put out, reactions to USDA reports, and an overall deeper dive into everything we talk about daily here on the War Room. So give that a check out there. Also, a portion of those proceeds of the subscription fees will go directly to support the AgYield NextGen Foundation, which of course supports our national scholarship competition for college students. We're really excited about running our next competition there next spring. So be sure to check that out as well. Appreciate everybody that tunes in on a daily basis. If you wouldn't mind, throw us a like and certainly subscribe. We're doing this every day that the markets are open on X, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live at 8:15 Central Time. Appreciate the thoughts and comments here this morning, guys. It was a good show. Hope everybody has a great day, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
The War Room is presented by AgYield, a risk management partner of American grain farmers for over 50 years. Looking for more in-depth analysis? Check out the War Room Report. Our team's knowledge and expertise delivered straight to your inbox every weekday. Each report delivers key market-moving headlines, critical weather updates, USDA report breakdowns, and exclusive video content. All for $50 a month. And most importantly, 10% of every subscription will go directly to support the AgYield NextGen Foundation, a nonprofit investing in agricultural education and the future of farming. To sign up for the War Room Report, check out the link in the description or learn more at agyield.com.
Hey guys, Jack here. Be sure to support the show by hitting the like button, leaving us a comment, and subscribing to the channel for all the latest updates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.